Hey, I hope this video and the algorithm finds you as well as you can be amidst the weirdness of life on Earth 2024. No matter where you are, things are strange. So keep it up. Keep up the good work and play. Make sure you play because it's a lot of work, hard work, a lot of things going on that are disturbing and not good. And then there's like just the work it takes to stay alive as a human and keep your own life in order while living in this fucked up system. So yeah, you're doing a good job. So just like in case no one's told you that lately, yeah, I'll tell it to you and you tell it to yourself. Just give yourself a big hug and squeeze. I know that might seem silly, but someone's got to give us that recognition, and ideally it's nice to get it from the outside world and from others too. That's really helpful. Having some affirmation and support is very good and very needed, and and it does take nurturing those connections and having those conversations and having transparent, honest communication about who you are and where you're at in order to really connect authentically to other people and form those relationships and friendships and a support network for those reminders whenever you may need them, because that it takes building that, because it's not just like given to us. Some people are born into families that have a little more there from the get-go, more support, but most of us, and sometimes even family, can feel like the opposite of support, where like they're meaning well but they're actually complicating someone's ability to just do things on their own or to do it their own way without the pressure and expectations of that other person kind of influencing that those actions or choices. And so that's a thing also. So while it may look like, oh, that person has so much and they have all this support and they have this money, and they might also feel extremely squeezed and pressured and boxed into an idea of who they should be and how they should live. And with a lot of like money and wealth comes different forms of responsibility and pressures and expectations and like programming. And so no matter where you're born or who you're born into, like you were given certain things, and some things are, not the most helpful thing. And it's like baggage, I guess, or weights, or things that are better to be let go of and released. And so recognizing that we all come from very different places, have very different stories, and I believe that each person's path and story is of value, with lessons and some form of information that could be useful to somebody else. So I feel it's very important that becoming more connected to self and one's story and path, and to share that honestly, to be able to connect with people from that authentic place of like, this is me, this is what I've been through, here I am. And that can teach someone something valuable. Maybe they needed to hear those words. Maybe they needed to consider something or see it differently, or be reminded to be grateful for whatever it is they have. Because I think it's kind of come back to like gratitude and being heart-centered, because we all think about things very differently and have different beliefs. And trying to connect to someone's mind is good and can be a good way to like connect. But I think that beyond just the mind and perspective and beliefs, like and without the intent to change another's mind either, because just why does it matter what that unless it's destructive and harmful to another person, like if they want to believe that, okay, like what could be more useful though than totally discrediting that person as a whole because they just believe something different, is like seeing them as a child who experienced certain things that made them into who they are, and really what helps someone grow and change and evolve is connection, is love, is you know, in order to even shift someone's mind, that person has to feel like they trust you or they feel safe with you. And you know, nowadays it's like you have people who, it's like they're wasting their breath trying to impact somebody who is closed off to them and doesn't want to even take in what they're saying, because who are you? Why would I care about what you have to say if you don't relate to me in some way? So so you know, to connect to someone's heart and to just like touch their heart or be present in a way that helps disarm them, that's going to impact the world more than like trying to change that person's belief system, because that stuff is so deeply ingrained, especially older people. They've been just living their life a certain way for so long, and they've just, it's almost pointless at a certain point. I don't know at what point, but yeah, it's like just connect with people as people. Like we all, you know, I don't know. I like to believe that we're born inherently good, and also like there's the capacity for like darkness or evil or destruction and chaos within every person, depending on their environment and there's, you know, their parents and all sorts of things, or just, I don't know, because it's like I have a lot of differing kind of, I don't want to say contradictory, but kind of contradictory at times, like beliefs that, because I don't like to restrict myself to one like certain belief system. I like to entertain and philosophize about it being different ways. Because for a while I was like, okay, we're born with a blank slate. Like we just come into this world and then we're sponges and we take on the things around us. But you know, if you believe in like the soul experiencing more than just this body in this realm, then we would carry things from another like life in this world. And also past lives, so time isn't linear, like we perceive it linearly, but time, like our brains can't, like we're living in this like linear time realm right now, but that's not all that there is. Time is fluid, and past, present, future are technically happening all at once. So I like to look at it as like parallel lives and not just like a past life, but maybe like the life before, in a sense, because yes, time is real in a sense that it's like what we use to determine and quantify like things and get from one place to another. I don't know, it's like even talking about time is like a trip, because it's like, what the heck really is it, and everything, you know, like it's fun to consider and talk about all sorts of things, and I like to do that, and that's what I'm doing right now, because yeah, you know, so with that, like the idea of past lives and karma and like your soul, like, you know, being in an experience before this one, then we would carry things from the past. So I don't know what it all is, but it's fun to consider and talk about. I don't need to know. I think I've let go of the desire to like really know. Like I can't like solidify any one thing, except for, because I think there is maybe a few things that I can say are like very important to me, and that are like things that I find as like I guess maybe value, like having values, like a value system is something that one can solidify for themselves as like things that are important. But then again, like we can't push that onto somebody else, where like my things that are of meaning and important to me and my values are going to be different from somebody else. And I can't force my values upon somebody else, just as I cannot force my beliefs upon somebody else. And none of us can. So this isn't, you know, this is like, so what am I just like had a thought about how like I've had a few comments on my videos that are just kind of like snarky or rude and just like trying to bring me down, it seems like. And it's like, I don't understand and cannot comprehend how there are people who go on the internet and just talk shit and just insult and judge and demean. Like, what? Like, how? It's so sad. Like, that person it's sad to me. It's like, you're in a lot of pain. Like, you poor thing. Do you need like it does like hurt and it stings to like be like, oh wow, okay, like, all right. But also, like, I can take it personal, and also it's not personal. And so that's where it's like everything in life, like, we can take it personally, and on some level it is, but it's not personal. Everyone's just acting out of and doing their own things out of their own patterns related to their past and their hardwiring and their programming and yada, 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 you know? So, yeah, as much as I can, just, like, look at it through a different lens and, like, even, like, find that person who's being an asshole to me or to you or to whoever. Like, that's the person who needs your love, acceptance, like, gentleness and kindness more than anybody else. And that's, like, the person you don't want to give it to most, because it's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why you're trying to, like, make me feel bad? Like, you gotta flip it around and deflect, or, like, what I was saying about de-armoring someone, okay? So, like, I can't make them feel something. I can question or say something a certain way that will invoke a feeling, but, like, I can't make them feel remorse. I can say, you know, like, get them to question their behavior. Like, someone was being, like, asked a question, and I was like, are you actually asking to understand, or are you trying to be rude and insulting? And then I just sit and be like, wow, yeah, I am being an asshole. And it's like, well, maybe, and then they probably already knew that, so it's like, why was that even matter? I guess, I don't know. I guess my point is that people, they're kind of assholes sometimes, and we still have to love them anyway. I feel like that's, I guess we don't have to do that, but I think it's better to do that. There's so many cars parked here. I'm gonna also park here. I wonder where they all are. Oh, but they're probably in the, okay. I have a little bit of time before I pick up. Oh, that's a little tight. I'm not gonna do that. Let's try here. Yeah, I mean, like, none of us, we don't have to do anything, and that's also, it's like, okay, we have choices every day on who we're gonna be, how we're gonna live. This is not the best parking spot either. I'm, like, not even in. So yeah, we'll take a pause here for a second. Okay, I'm just gonna take a pause, and that's very tight. Peoples, what is going on? Jeez Louise. All of these parking spots are just, like, so tight. Okay, well, I think this will do. Okay. Oh, that is a big tree. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up so I can go outside, enjoy some fresh air, some sunshine, and some tree time, and some bare feet on the ground time, and yeah. So yeah, because you know what, the human stuff and all the human people talking and saying and doing things that are, like, don't make sense to me and are just mean, like, power dynamic struggles, like, they're reenacting the pain that they experienced, and, like, don't lack self-awareness and empathy. There's a lot of people like that walking around. Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do to, like, make these people develop and grow besides showing them maybe what they haven't been shown, and, like, not without boundaries, or, like, for instance, like, you know, someone online, like, that I'm not going to see them, it doesn't impact me, but, like, if it's someone in your life that's, like, repeatedly showing you they, like, don't care, lack empathy or awareness, like, we don't have to have these people in our lives. Like, I guess when it's family, it's a little more complicated, but, you know, it's all about boundaries, and it's all about, like, expressing those boundaries, communication, full circle back to where I started. It's like, in order to really connect to someone's heart and connect with them on a like, connect here, it takes, like, being honest about where you are, who you are, and wanting to know and be curious about this other person. So it's like diving deeper into self and coming out of self to be able to interact with the world in a way that is connective, supportive, and then that way you end up getting that support back. It's like what we give, we end up getting back. Like, it's like energy is contagious, and so it's a reminder to give what you would like to receive, and give to yourself, and be gentle and loving. And you know, and also it's funny because people can be giving a lot of love and kindness out into the world, but then struggle to give that to themselves. So it's like it has to be an inner job. It has to come from within, and from a place of not lack and doing it to get something from someone else or because you need it, but like just because genuinely like it's the right thing to do, and you care about yourself enough to care about others and see how it's all interconnected and interrelated. And I say has to, or like it, like, because it's, I guess like part of me is like this, I would like want to, come on guys, like please, just a little wake up, like shake everybody and just be like, come on, just be like more gentle and kind and thoughtful and like aware and considerate and patient and forgiving, and like all these things towards ourself. Give all of that to self, give it to others, so please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. So it's work, it's play, it's today, it's now. It's a compilation and accumulation of all of the past and every person, place, and thing that has existed before now that led us to this moment, that birthed me, that caused my parents to meet, and then everything that happened within that, and then like, whoa, okay? Past is very present and relevant. Now, in this moment, we get to choose how to be, what to do with our time, as much as we can amidst having responsibilities. But like the way that we handle these responsibilities and go into them, the way that we approach any situation, even if it feels like it's out of our control and out of our hands, like it's still, we have the power and will to choose how to work within that thing that may not feel like we want to be doing. And then there's this future, this unknown mystery that we are actively creating in every moment, that we are changing the trajectory of everything through how we come into a present moment. Whoa, that's something there. Yeah, so breathing, nervous system regulation, deep inner connection, attunement, and authenticity, honesty, communication, uncomfortable conversations, letting yourself be seen and known, and so you can see and know other people. What else do I got? I think that's yep. Okay, well, I hope that your day, night, morning flows forward with as much ease and peace as possible, because you deserve that, because that is good to have peace and ease. So, keep up the good work and play. Until next time.